What is going on, everyone? So it is officially pretty much close to 5 days since I used my polish. It's Friday, August 21st. Pretty much 5 days since I went live. And yeah, so we are going to do a follow-up wash on the test areas where I polished the entire hood. Wiped it off and just applied a coating right over it. And for the first week, I am just going to use a pH neutral soap. So today's will be Apex Auto Wash. That is what I am using. And I'm not going to cut anything. This will be pretty much all raw and uncut. Now, I did get more samples or variations of what I wanted to. So this one, I told him make it a little bit less viscous, and I think he went overboard because this sounds almost like water. And I'll show you when I pour it on the pads, on the areas in comparison to where I kind of want it to be. And then this one is a little bit less viscous than this one, but it just doesn't spray through the trigger. So this is just testing variations, and all in all, I did use these on a vehicle yesterday, but I just didn't really like in terms of the viscosity because it makes no sense for me to test that. And you know, it makes no sense for me to test it and then just, you know, just in case the formulation is off. To me, it's almost kind of like a waste. Now I'll get more into it. So yeah, so let me swoop you over so all of you can see, and you know, I'm just testing stuff. So pretty much Primus will go in the bucket, right? I'm gonna put this just in the bucket. So bam, again, just a little bit, just like that. We'll go in the bucket. I am going to use Apex Auto Wash right here. Bam. This is a new top. Bam. I don't really care. I'm just going to do this right here. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just to show that, you know, the polish is intact or the coatings are intact. And I apologize because this is from a job yesterday, and then obviously a couple of testing that I did. So yeah, so let me show you kind of where I want it to be, and all of you can get a idea. Again, this isn't blended by Thor Blending or ADS, BMB. So yeah, so I will show you here before we get onto the washing step, which all of you want to see. So pretty much, I kind of want it to be in the consistency of the gold standard polish, maybe a little bit thicker, right? Just almost a tad bit. But that is the gold standard there. Now this is the one that was sent. As you can see, it just pretty much sprays off, but this is a way too watered down. You see that? That's not good. That's not what I want. Because when you go onto a soft pad or any pad, it kind of just seeps itself through. So this one is a waste for me to even try to test. And then this one right here is still a little bit thinner, as you can see, than this one right here, which is just trying to. But as you can see, it is definitely thinner. And obviously, so you see that? So just probably in between these two right here, right? So that is the consistency I'm looking for. So yeah, so no use in testing the new ones that came in terms of longevity. I was just testing the cut and the finish, which they both did pretty well at. Nothing to do there, or nothing to complain about there in terms of that, because we are not trying to change at all the formulation. It's just more of the viscosity, where we want it to be and where we got it from. So yeah, let me have my pressure washer set up. This is all, as I said, want this to be as uncut as possible for all of you to see. I'm gonna foam up the my bucket, and time to rinse. Now remember, I didn't do an exact square, and what I'm gonna do is just polish one section with one of the test samples that I got here, and I'm just gonna polish it I already polished it a little bit off screen, but I'm still going to polish it again, just so all of you can see. So hopefully from rinsing, you could tell where we actually differentiated from where we applied the ceramic coating, where we didn't. Because remember, I didn't do an actual test box per se. All I really did was just applied it on, left certain sections uncoated so we could check the difference. And no coating is done. So this one on the left is DIY detail 1 year. Down here we didn't apply, so as you can see it is perfectly flat. Down here we pretty much tried to avoid that entire area right there, as you can see. So that is flat, no coating. Over here I try to avoid that mid area right there. But as you can see, between both coating areas, nothing is messed up. From right here, obviously, it's not coated. This was Phoenix EOD's Immortal. I did not go all the way down here. Left an area as usual. But all in all, as I said, I try to wipe off as clean as possible. I should have done a square, which I am going to do for you guys on the door panel right there. So yeah, so that is what we have. I am going to foam this on, not waste a lot of time. I want to keep this video literally no more than 15 minutes. Probably max will be 20 minutes just because I'm going to put a square on it, tape it up, and put 3 different coatings, and yeah. So just foam it on. I'm gonna let that dwell and bring you all in that the coatings are still performing the way they want to. So as you can see, this is a DIY 1 year. It is rejecting. That is the Labocosmetica's HPC right there. This one is Hydrate from DIY Detail, and this one is Immortal. So yeah, I'm not going to wash the entire vehicle. I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm kind of lazy, and I'll probably just rinse these areas so you can still see where we're at. But the vehicle is dirty. It was driven for the past 5 days. The good thing is it didn't rain at all. So, or it did rain actually yesterday. As you can see, a couple of water drops. It just rained yesterday, but it wasn't in terms of hard rain. It just rained for like 5 minutes. It felt like Florida rain. It just rained for 5-10 minutes and then it was gone, and it was sunny for the rest of the day. So yeah. So first wash, as I said, it is a pH neutral wash, pretty much like you would treat any coating in this first wash, right? Typically you want to wait 7 days, all this other stuff, but I don't got time to wait so much. I'm going to be traveling next week, and I just want to still show that this works. So I'm going to rinse that off. As you can see, the coatings has not been affected. Whatsoever. It's actually beating a lot more here and definitely flatter on the adjacent areas that I did not apply it. So next up is I'm going to foam it on again. Do a contact wash with a little bit of Primus. Do a contact wash with a little bit of Primus. So that way it has a tad bit of alkalinity, just in case if you were to, say it was a rainy day. As you can see, the coatings are rejecting everything. We're gonna treat this as a regular wash. It makes no sense for me to wash this 4 more times. I'll probably rub it down 1 more time, even with just the water on, you know, that's left if you want to see. But as you can see, look at that. All the coatings are rejecting, and the area that's not coated, look, holding water. So I guess this gives a good representation of which areas was coated and which areas was not. All right, next up, I'll do one more pass, this time just with the Primus, the alkaline soap. And then we'll move on to the door panel that I was doing off screen. I just pretty much just use the wool pad just to make sure I cut everything. Probably just gonna use just a yellow pad, and that's it. Same thing, gonna rinse off. All right, so that is pretty much it for, you know what, I'll keep it short for this video. It's 11 minutes and I will make another video. It's about to be 12 minutes. I'll make another video on this where I am polishing or finishing polishing the rest of that door. And I'm actually gonna put a little bit of squares, but hopefully this gives a representation of the journey of what I've been coming up with my polish. As you can see, no coatings were affected. I foamed it on, rinsed it off, did an alkaline soap. Nothing was, as you can see, everything is still the same from compared to the live. There's certain areas where I left gaps on the live where I did that on purpose, and it is still true to its form. So pretty much I did 2 washes where I applied the alkaline soap twice. And yeah, so if there was any sort of hindrance of any type of adhesion to the paint with the ceramic coating, trust me, this would have already been rubbed off already because of the polish residue that's underneath of the coating. But as you can see, Apex pH neutral soap, first 5 days, rinse it off, apply the foam again, did a wipe down with the alkaline soap, mixed with the Apex foam, rinsed it off, then just dunked in with alkaline soap again, Primus, wiped it on, rinse it off, and that was it. As you can see, nothing was altered. So let me know down below what you guys think about this so far while I'll make the video. So I will see you all on the next one. Peace.